All right, you guys, welcome to the live. I'm just doing a quick sound check, a mic check, because I'm using an XLR cable right now, and I was told like grounding, interference, all that kind of good stuff. So I apologize if there's a bit of a hum, but I'm going to try to make sure that it looks all good. Hey, Gwen Stacy, my babe, how's it going? We're going to be reading Superwoman tonight. So, let me just make sure this is all good. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to take these headphones off because I think we are good. We are live. Welcome. Oh, Zari's sleeping. Um, I've been so I actually ended up starting early. I'm very happy with myself. So welcome you guys to the live. Let me just flip the world. Beautiful. Okay, so this is one of my, I don't want to call it a custom cosplay. I guess this is like en route to me doing Power Girl. Why is the baby sleeping hard? Because babies need a lot of sleep. And you know what? I was not a baby who slept very well. So if you're lucky enough to have a baby who sleeps through the night, then I think you take that gift. Nicey, X65, thank you for liking the live. So I am Kara Zor-El, the last daughter of Krypton, but remember, we are in the DC universe, so we do have a multiverse going on. And so we're going to be doing a really cool read tonight. I've been doing a lot of like Crisis on Infinite Earths and like Identity Crisis and a lot of like really, really heavy reads. But this is a fun one because it is the Rise of Superwoman. And I have read, what was it? A storyline before where we had Lana Lang becoming Superwoman. So in this case, we have Lois Lane becoming a Superwoman. I don't know how they explain how she gets her powers, but I thought it would be fun to explore because I do really love Lois Lane. And tomorrow we're going to have April O'Neil join us live. We're going to make a birdhouse live together using popsicle sticks. So I'm going to tell, it's only Tuesday. It's not super, it is, but it's my Tuesday midnight read, Pokey. I'm early though. So, Superhero School will officially start on March 1st, which is Sunday. I'm going to be filming some stuff for all of that and the curriculum coming up. I do have a cosplay Zodiac calendar I'm going to be launching. I was going to be doing it in time for the lunar year, but time is just like this like ever tightening spiral and I have no time for anything. I'm getting all my points. Oh yes, Pokey, yes. So, oh my gosh, where do I want to begin with this? This is going to be the read tonight. It's fun because you have Lana Lang, Lois Lane, and Kara. They're all like girlfriends in this, and I was like, oh, that would be fun to do the three versions of like I guess Supergirl and Superwoman. So let me explain myself first. This cosplay I'm doing, I guess, is maybe Lois Lane's version of Superwoman. Now, the reason why I'm platinum is, how should I explain this? I always wanted to be platinum blonde. So I grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba. My background is actually Filipino and South African. So platinum blonde hair, not exactly something that's natural. However, I grew up like Filipinos have a whole like beauty, how should I put it? A whole culture of beauty, right? I would say South Americans do too, like the beauty queen kind of thing. I've been seeing lately there's this bebot train for train. Why am I calling it a train? Trend. And I'm like, oh, I thought that was just like the way we did our makeup in the 90s. You know, where you like shaved your eyebrows and got like a really thin eyebrow and then like the lip line thing. And it just goes to show how like doing your makeup and your hair and all of that kind of stuff that can really change your character and your look, right? And so my different Supergirls, they all have a different feel to them. So let's go into so welcome you guys, and Pokey, thank you for bringing your love into the chat. Oh, Slider 002, like, what? Nudity. Wow, they think my body is too. You guys, am I too naked right now? I'm wearing. That's craziness to me. I can't believe it. I'm gonna. Wolfie has totally entered the chat. You guys, I'm so weirded out about how they restricted me for this. I'm not even. I'm wearing something underneath this as well. This is like a double layer, so I am more appropriate than usual. I don't. Oh, okay, wait. I think my restriction went away. No, it's still there. Let me see. I'm gonna come back maybe. Um, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna have to talk to TikTok and be like, listen, I'm definitely not overly exposed. Unless like people think that this is like super tight, but I like it. So, uh, the belt thing, you think it's that? You think that's throwing it off, Casey? The silver purple low. But I'm literally wearing like underwear and stuff. So now, okay, I'm gonna come back. Oh, thank you. Wait, I think my restriction went away. You guys, wonderful. So I have been in trouble before. 1 second. That's actually a traditional thing if you guys get to know me in real life too. I kind of flash my boobs a lot, but I don't like clothes, generally speaking. And it's taken me a long time to be really comfortable with my own body. And I welcome you guys to be comfortable with your own bodies as well. Cavs collectible spot. Oh, thank you. And you guys, Jessica Cruz, that I'm going to get some action figures, I think, coming up because I'm really psyched about how she looks like me. I look like her a little bit. And I kind of love that. They think it's body paint. Everybody needs somebody sometime. Oh, I love you guys. See, I see you get in trouble. My vajayjay. Okay, hold on, you guys. So, I am 40 years old. I put that out there right now. So I was telling, who was I talking to the other day? This really cute girl who was like checking me out at this cannabis store, and I was talking to her about how like I got my belly button re-pierced, right? So that's 4 decades. Yes, Pokey, right? So I was born in 85. I like the 90s was like I was all through elementary. The early 2000s was like high school for me, and then I moved out here, right? I moved out to Toronto in about 2007, 2008. And when I first moved out to Toronto, I actually got a job as a go-go dancer that very first weekend. So I actually got to go-go dance for DJs like David Guetta and like will.i.am and a few other I got to see and observe a lot of things from the vantage point of being up on those platforms. Things are a little different these days. The jobs you get in downtown Toronto, I would imagine in other big cities as well, where you're filming, a lot of these things have changed. Not a Google dancer. Alex, thank you. In your Fortress of Solitude. To all of you guys in your Fortress of Solitudes, remember we are in a multiverse, so your versions, they're all valid. Oh my goodness, I'm getting a lot of downloads coming in like all at once because you guys all just entered the chat. If Rachel had a podcast, it would take me forever to start. Well, I feel like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna? I'm gonna actually go back to my notes. We are gonna be reading this tonight, which is Rise of the Superwoman, where Lois Lane actually gets powers. Now, why do I talk about this? Oh, good, Pokey. I'm glad your podcast is returning. Oh, April. Oh my goodness. Yeah, April O'Neil's gonna come back tomorrow, you guys. I'm gonna hopefully build my birdhouse live with you guys. And if you want to follow along, just if you have a lot of popsicle sticks lying around, you can use that. Hi Ryan. Hello. So I'm Superwoman today. So Superwoman in the DC universe should not to confuse her with Supergirl. So okay, I know it's not superhero school, but let's talk about the difference between the different Karas and like Linda Lee and then Kara Danvers and Power Girl, if you guys aren't familiar with Power Girl. I am working on that cosplay, and I feel like that cosplay, Power Girl's cosplay, would definitely set TikTok would not like that. If you guys aren't familiar with Power Girl. But her and Supergirl, if you have them together, because she's from Earth too, I feel like if they're together, I don't know, like the energy, it's like too much, something like that. Can we see the back cover? Yeah, of course. Superwoman returns. Let me just read this. Following the aftermath of absolute power, Lois Lane is stepping into a whole new role. As Lois embraces her exciting powers, she and Clark must face their mysterious origins, which may come with a ticking clock. Will this transformation last, or are we witnessing the final chapter of her crime-fighting days? To make things even more intense, Superman's infamous enemy, the Time Trapper, has arrived in Metropolis with secrets that could rattle the very foundations of the super family, testing their unity and strengths like never before. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, enter Doomsday. With unexpected twists and heart-pounding moments, Lois finds herself in a whirlwind of conflicts and challenges and a race for survival that will redefine what it means to be Superwoman. Buckle up, because this high-stakes adventure is going to be one for the ages. Oh, Mad Hatter. It's funny, we watched a Silent Hill movie recently. So I love that. I'm going to go down like another so this is going to be the read for tonight. We're going to start it at midnight. We're going to go for an hour and see where that takes us. I'm going to see how that goes. But before that, I wanted to explain a little bit this cosplay, as well as, I guess, the upcoming lives that are coming up. Let me hold on. And she owns an Android. And Dandy Money Man, hey birthday twin, lots of love. Thank you for the gift. Mad Hatter, I wanted to put a pin on your comment. The rainbow dragon said hello. Oh yes, my rainbow dragons. Oh my dream dragons. That's all coming to fruition very soon. I've been working on so I have an IndieGoGo campaign that is going to be going live on March 1st as well, in conjunction with Superhero School. The IndieGoGo campaign, I had to do a lot of rework because they changed their funding model from like having flexible funding or fixed funding to being only fixed funding, and then like changed it back again. And I was like, had to redo my whole budget as to like, oh, do I need to hire certain people? So hopefully like I'll be able to have like funding to like give people jobs, like cinematographers and video editors and all the stuff that goes into making a movie, because I do want to make like Step Up and like You Got Served, like the dance movies back in the day. I want to have a dance movie, but also encroach it in like a cyberpunk futuristic synthwave universe. So it's called The Dragon Warriors Escape from District 6, and it is a sequel to the books that I'm finally finishing at the end of this month as well. So I've been trying to finish up all of my writing projects, and if you guys are writers or any creatives, you'll know that like a lot of oh my gosh, a lot of the work, like the most intense part of the work is like right near the end where you're doing the edits and you have to like final polishes before things go live, right? So let's see here. Oh my gosh, Pokey, Wolfie does love his grilled cheese sandwiches, and so do I. I don't know if you guys have seen the show Snowpiercer, where the movie I thought was really good. The show was okay, I think the first season, but I think he like sells out something for like to just have grilled cheese sandwiches and like tomato soup. So, dipping grilled cheese sandwiches in tomato soup. I call that like white people food though. That was only something I got to eat when I was at my friends' houses for sleepovers. Jodelle Ferland is the actress who is your doppelganger. Oh, I have another doppelganger, Matt. Apparently, there's this. She's half Russian and half Asian, and I think she's in the Arrowverse. She's a beautiful girl. So, but I was like, whoa, it's so weird how. I think it depends on how I do my hair and makeup to you guys. I have a few, I think, lookalikes just based on that. So, depending on how I do my hair and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. The fatty stickers. Thank you guys. My dragons, I've got some new dragon eggs that I'm making, specifically one metallic red dragons. I do love red dragons, as well as gold dragons and more metallic, and just lining up the dragons with the elements in electricity and then lining that up with certain dances so you can invoke dragons with certain frequencies and energy. So I've been getting caught up in making it up for myself because sometimes, I don't know, like there's this level of trying to make everything fit exactly perfect, but it doesn't always do it that way. Okay, so Supergirl versus Superwoman. Supergirl herself, Kara Zor-El, if we talk about her, she is, she stays a teenager, right? So typically, it's actually known that Kara is older than Cal, and the reason why she seems younger is because she ends up in stasis before she ends up crash landing on Earth. Now, when we talk about the versions of super women that exist, I have read you guys before a story of Lana Lang. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have a fun tangential story to begin, but to talk about before we get into this read, because this reads a lot more of like a, I don't say like Saturday morning cartoons kind of level, but like some comic books are really dark, like this, Final Crisis, right? Where you're talking about like the end of existence and all that kind of stuff. And not to say that the other smaller episodic superhero tales aren't as epic, but they can be a little bit easier on your heart. Mad Hatter. Supergirl is way stronger than Superwoman, right? Well, fun thing, the three of the ladies get to hang out, and they all have powers here, so it's kind of fun. Let me make sure I have water before we begin, maybe. Oh, thanks, Samurai Ninja. This is technically, I guess, Superwoman, my Lois Lane version. Lois Lane technically has purple eyes, apparently. But I'm going to tell you guys a story. Let me just see if I've got... They fight over a boyfriend. I don't like those things. When there's like a, what do you want to call it? A love triangle. I hate those kinds of things. I know that like animes love to do it, but I don't know. But it is funny. I can never keep up. I know. Who can keep up? Okay, I'm going to put I was putting these guys in another spot, but I'm going to put them back here for now. Now, my stuffies. Are you guys ready for the story? All right. So we're going to read this, Rise of the Superwoman. It is a newer tale. I'm going to tell you guys a story that has to do with Hilary Duff. And why does this matter? Because when you have things that are made in live action, and this is going to be related to Kristen Krug, who played Lana Lang, who is one of the super women in this. So that is the connection point of this Hillary Duff story. The golden dress, it looks more naturally. Oh, well, that golden dress, Pokey, I bought that when I was 16 years old oh, Matt, thank you. I bought that dress when I was 16 years old in Winnipeg, actually. There was this cool little Asian store in Portage Place in Winnipeg, downtown. I used to take acting class at Prairie Theater Exchange. And so there was also this like little Asian store that sold like Sailor Moon stuff, like cool little like I don't know, like Japanese room dividers, which I've been like looking into getting and stuff. And just like lots of Sailor Moon like dubbed, not dubbed. Are you guys like when you guys do animes, are you guys dubs or subs? I like subs, subtitles, because like when you have things in Japanese, it's hard to like, it depends on the dub too, I guess, right? I miss Comic Storian. Do I know? I don't know him personally, but I miss him too. Arrow. Did he go away? I love the nerding out of like comic books. So I am looking into making an official comic book club that is also in person here in Toronto if you are here to meet on like a monthly basis, like hopefully the full moon. Because I do have a photography studio here that I am a member of. We're doing a crit night tomorrow night. And so I'm hopefully going to be able to go to, there's this place called Big Trouble in a Chinatown. You're like, Big Trouble in Little China, you know? So my second movie, or my movie, which is based on my second book, it is technically like a spiritual successor to Escape from LA, Escape from New York, John Carpenter. I love John Carpenter movies. I love the 80s. I love practical effects. So I want my movie to be kind of like a throwback to that. So it's been, yeah. So even a person. Yeah, let's see here, I think. Did I go to Fan Expo in Toronto? Slider, yes, I did have gone to Fan Expo in Toronto. We have an event coming up, I think in March, that I'm trying to gear up for to try to get some cosplayers together to do some fun skits and acting and stuff. And Samurai Ninja, thank you for liking the live. So my story about Hillary Duff before we begin the comic book read. So I grew up in the 90s. YTV. I looked and fantasized looking at Toronto and like Much Music and YTV. It was like one day, me and my friends like made a promise with each other. We're gonna move out to like a big city. We're like audition for like Electric Circus, you know, being like a backup dancer and like a music video, be a video vixen, you know, that was like the epitome of all that kind of stuff. But I got to do some cool stuff. I've been as part of a few projects, but it's all to say, like, you know, very recently, a lot of dark stuff has come out about the entertainment industry, you know, like Cassie, P. Diddy, the music industry. But I feel like many of us who have, I mean, if you've worked anywhere, you always realize that there's a level of like politics and nepotism and all this other like dark underbelly of things that maybe exist as you're going about doing things, right? So the entertainment industry is no different. Now, Hillary Duff, I used to love Lizzie McGuire, right? Like, even if I think about like Miley Cyrus, I love her song Flowers. Like, I can buy myself flowers. You know, so all of these girls, like, I do realize, you know, growing up in show business probably just wasn't a very normal atmosphere, right? You're playing these characters, you yourself, your own identity. It's going to be very challenging for you to develop that, considering that you're playing this whole other character all the time, right? Which is why, like, Millie Alcock playing the newest Supergirl coming up, I really liked her in House of Dragon. So because I loved her in House of Dragon, I'm going to carry that, like, that characterization of her, and hopefully she can bring that same cool toughness to Kara, because that's the same kind of, like, it's hard to tough chicks are hard to write, right? Without them being too, off-putting or masculine, right? And you don't want them to be too Mary Sue either, right? Like Sarah Connor, as I said, she's like my girl. She's like, when I think of like tough chicks, her, or Xena, Warrior Princess. And also Lucy Lawless has voiced Wonder Woman in some animated versions, right? And so when we think about the characterization and bringing these characters to life, the voice, the way things look, all that kind of stuff comes into how that comes alive, right? Rhea Ripley can step on me. So when it comes to the story I wanted to tell you about Hilary Duff. So do you guys remember Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle? And I didn't really watch Malcolm in the Middle much. But you know what? I was watching a podcast with Frankie Muniz on it. And he, I think, was born the same year as me because I think he's like 40, 41. He looks great. Like, that's how you know you're old. But I'm like, you look great, Frankie. You're cute. So he was talking about a movie he was doing. What was it? Agent Cody Banks. And you don't know anything that I'm talking about? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Frankie Muniz, Agent Cody Banks, back in the day. Anyways, it's all because he was born in 85. Yeah, Matt. So I was also born in 85. Oh my gosh. Agent Cody Banks is a classic film? Okay, great. Awesome, you guys. All right. Okay. So put a pin on that. Now, Hilary Duff very recently has come out with like a comeback. And she's been known as, there's this TikToker who like made an for your page dance based on like how Hilary does the dance, because back in the 90s and the early 2000s, all of the music videos had really intricate choreo. And I will say this as someone who is a dancer, being a choreographer and being a dancer are not the same thing, right? Like what makes a move, right? And sometimes like some music video choreo, if you go back and look at it, you're just kind of like, wow, there's too much of like weird, it's not natural, right? And you're just doing it because like, oh, I feel like we need to do something, this is just like on trend in terms of what the choreo is. And so it's if you look at Janet Jackson and like Paula Abdul, she's like an amazing choreographer. And so you compare that to some things. But anyways, Hilary Duff's back. And she's talked recently about how she is estranged from her older sister, Haley Duff. So, which made me sad, right? Because Hilary and Haley back in the day, they were like very close, or at least they marketed they made it seem like those two were very close. And it made me sad to find out they were estranged, because me and my sister are very close, and Haley and Hilary not being close and having children and like their kids, they're not. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I wonder what happened, right? So Hilary's been very like private about it, which I can kind of appreciate about Hilary. So put a pin on that, right? So she's been coming out. So I was like, I wonder what happened there. So Frankie's been on this podcast, and so I was watching it, and it goes, after Agent Cody Banks, he has not spoken to Hilary Duff. So Frankie Muniz did Agent Cody Banks with Hilary Duff as like his leading lady, right? Now, here's why. It has nothing actually to do with Hilary Duff. It has to do with Hilary Duff's crazy stage mom. Yeah, so like I'm from Winnipeg. I'm like, I don't know how LA works. I don't know how it would be like to like grow up next to a major studio where you can actually just go and audition whenever you wanted. But apparently Hilary Duff's mom was like a crazy stage mom, which is how she ended up getting all her roles. So how Frankie put it was like, Frankie and Hilary used to be friends back in the day, did the same auditions. I guess you're like kids of the same age, so you're going to the same kinds of things. Like even in the dance community here, like if Sean Desmond is having a dance audition here, you're typically going to see girls that are like from the same like dance classes and stuff. You just get to know each other, right? Lana Lang, is that you? Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're going to get to Lana Lang in just a bit there, McQueen. And hey, Dan. Hello. So Agent Cody Banks, Frankie Muniz talks about how he is, I don't know, like at some coffee shop, And Hilary Duff's mom comes to talk to him. And it's like, hey, Frankie, what are you working on? What kind of projects are you working on? Just like having conversation. And Frankie's like, I was so naive. I just told her, I'm like, yeah, I'm working on this movie, like Agent Cody Banks. It's like a young James Bond kind of type of film. It's really cool. I'm really excited about it. And Hilary Duff's mom's like, oh, is there like, a female lead for this movie, right? And Frankie's like, yeah, there is. And so like that's the end of that conversation. And Frankie kind of like leaves it at that. And he says that he's completely blindsided because like the first day of filming, he shows up and Hilary Duff is playing his leading lady. And he's pissed because he was told by producers that he was going to have final say as to who his leading lady was. And guess who he wanted as his leading lady, my friends? Kristen Kruk, Miss Lana Lang from Smallville. Frankie Muniz wanted her to be the leading lady, not Hilary Duff. But because Hilary Duff's mom stepped in and talked to the casting people, she got Hilary in to do that. So it's kind of like, when you think about casting decisions and who gets to play what, right? It's like, it's upsetting, right? Because sometimes maybe the best casting choices are not made because of like these weird other things that happen in the back end politically, right? And so for me, I always hope going forward that like anyone who's playing a character that like you really love, right, that they too, like even if they don't know about the character right away, if they do their due diligence, do the research, so that they can bring that character in a way that like brings honor to like those people who that character does mean a lot, right? Haley Stanfield plays Hawkeye TV series. Do I go to Fan Expo not every year, Slider. I go I haven't gone in a little while. I typically go with my sister, and she moved to Vancouver. She went to Fan Expo last weekend, actually, as Wonder Woman. So she is my Wonder Woman. We typically do a Supergirl Wonder Woman thing. See here. Nick Cage as Superman. I'm happy that didn't happen, but there is footage out there. Did you guys see how Nick Cage is going to be Spider-Man Noir? It actually looks pretty good. I've read some Spider-Man Noir. He's pretty better on it. Okay, maybe we can make it happen. If you want to be our personal videographer, photographer for that, as we do like real life superhero stuff. All right, guys. So with that, let's get into the read for tonight. We are going to be reading Superman, the Rise of Superwoman, mainly just because it deals with like the different versions of Superman, Superwoman. And the reason why I told you that story was because Kristen Kruk is probably, I love her. She's Canadian girl as well, from BC. She hasn't really done a lot lately. She didn't really become like a super mega star, but she'll always be like, Smallville to me, right? Clark Kent's first true love. And in the comic books, though, she's typically redheaded, however, right? Even though with the last name Lang, you're like, that does sound a little like it would be Asian, right? But hey, who knows? Like, same thing with Lee. But whatever. I'm a Leaf worshiper. Am I? Sergio, do you mean that like Toronto Maple Leafs? I can't. I'm from Winnipeg. I can't like any of the teams here. Scott Lang, Ant-Man. Oh, yeah, Coyote. Yeah, that's true. What was the name of the actor who plays Scott Lang in real life? Ant-Man's a very complicated character, though. I know we're mixing universes up, but I know that Alan Moore has written both Superman and Ant-Man, and I think it's just because certain characters are certain superheroes. Paul Rudd, you guys. Oh my gosh, you guys. I should have like a little scoreboard and stickers for when we get like certain things. So Paul Rudd, I don't know why, but he rubs me the wrong way. I don't know if he was the right casting choice for me. Sometimes he is, but I feel like sometimes the characters that do come off as, let's say, funny, that can be hard to pull off without it coming off as like cheesy, especially when you're dealing with like really weighty subjects. Can you go save the world? Yeah, Randy, I am trying, but Supergirl can't save everybody, and this is just kind of a call out to you guys too to wake up. It's time for the superheroes of this universe, of this world, to become lucid in the dream. So hopefully something resonates with you guys with this, and let's do it. Let's read. Okay. Superman, the Rise of Superwoman. Let me bring this down a little bit just so that it's not... Don't say wake up. Wake up, wake up. Oh my gosh, isn't that from like a song from Sexual Healing? Baby. Okay, anyways. Steak burger day. That sounds delicious. That was fully radio voice. Oh, yeah. Turn that on a little bit, right? It's funny too, like your vocal chakra and how it comes through. Yeah, I have no hydration with me, so we're gonna go as long as like my throat will let me. I used to do a lot of musical theater growing up, actually, but as I told you guys, I am very shy about singing by myself. I need to sing with others. So if you guys want to sing and harmonize, we can do that. Let's do it. Superman Volume 4, The Rise of the Superwoman. So this is also illustrated by Dan Mora. I really love Dan Mora's illustrations. He was also behind, I think I read another comic book where he was the illustrator behind it. I really love how he draws them. Like, yeah. Isn't he handsome, Cal? Okay. I love how we're beginning at the end, right? Ta-da. Perfect. I think I'm right on time for my own event. Excellent. So make sure you are tucked in, you're nice and warm, my superhero friends, and let's get into the comic book read. The end. Killing is never the answer. There must be another way. Even now, you hold on to your lofty morals and ideals, your sense of good and evil. They meant nothing in your day, and they mean even less now. Did he do Nightwing? Oh, thank you guys. Oh, yes. So I've actually been working on getting male voices for some of these. And almost like doing these more like table reads, you know, like if you were to have this. More on that too as well. I'm going to have a little form for if you want to do some voice acting and play in the quantum playground, you guys. All right, this guy's scary. Let's look, see. At the end of time. It has been said that everything dies, but we both know that is not true, don't we, Kal-El? Superman is forever. I am forever. Our conflict will never end. We have fought many times, Time Trapper, and this will be no different. You will lose, of course. The great philosopher Tenzil Kem once speculated that as long as there is a Superman, there is hope in the universe for a better tomorrow. But here you are, the last son of everything. If you don't or won't do what needs to be done, I will find someone who will. Bad guy talk, you know? Now, Metropolis, Daily Planet, look up in the sky. Lois Lane, Editor-in-Chief. Hey, Chief, I did it. I just got this picture from I just got the picture for tomorrow's front page. And so we've got Jimmy Olsen calling that out. Walk with me, Jimmy. Show me on the move. What do you got? A profile on Mr. White's campaign. Erica, where's that piece on Waller's trial you promised me last week? Let's see what else I can... Jimmy, you know I won fastest talker in Metropolis 5 years in a row? Okay, I'll hurry up. Chief Kakoa had a meeting with Mercy to talk about... Ron, you need a better quote for that piece on Blue Earth. Supergirl is leaving Metropolis too. Please tell me production fixed that ad placement. Lana was dress shopping for her wedding to Steel. Oh, Lana's marrying Steel in this. So Lana Lang's marrying... Okay. Put a pin on that too, you guys. Supergirl is leaving Metropolis too. Lana was dress shopping for her wedding to Steel. Jimmy, what are you doing? You know exactly what picture I want. Superwoman? Bingo. Ms. Lane, that isn't fair. You know no one has been able to get a picture of her. Lois Lane is gaslighting Jimmy here because she's Superwoman. She's like, I want a picture of Superwoman, Jimmy. He's like, that's impossible. Yeah, but you're Jimmy Olsen. You can do this. Hey, Timmy. Thank you for that. I hope you're well. We are reading The Rise of Superwoman as Superwoman. And I hope you are all well wherever you guys are in the multiverse. Let's get it. Cosmic comic book styles, right? So Jimmy Olsen... Okay, wait. Hold on a second. Let's back up. I don't really have context here as to how Lois Lane has powers, right? I don't know if you guys have read this. It's Dan Mora is the illustrator and the writer is Joshua Williamson. But when I read another title card of Superwoman where Lana Lang had powers, she got powers because she had like an old necklace that had red kryptonite in it. And the red kryptonite gave her superpowers. But it also made her like a little crazy. So I don't know how these work. We will find out. I've also read, you guys, a Nightwing story where he gets superpowers, but that's because of some like wish or like a magician or something like that. Let's continue. So, one last thing. Have you seen Clark recently? I was hoping I could go to both of you for some relationship advice. But every time I try to talk to you two, you're busy. Whoa. We need backup. Help. What the hell is that? So remember, because Lois now has superpowers, she can hear, like, when people need you. Which, like, I can hear too, you guys. Like, as Rachel Z. Hey, Mr. Panther. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate it. You know, like, if we want to talk about telepathy or hearing, senses, right? Things that are not necessarily like auditory and just being like, oh, okay, like I can hear that my friend needs me, or like I should call this person right now. These extra sensory ways of how we're able to feel each other and our fields, I think is like, it's expressed in that, right? So there's this big boom. And of course, because of that crisis, because of that, you're going to hear this like reverb, and those who are called to help are going to get that message of like, okay, help is needed, right? So you got to like pull off the glasses, get the suit, fly out, right? Yes, Greg. Aha. So what the hell is that? And so Lois says to Jimmy, we're going to talk more later. I promise. I have so many meetings today. So many meetings. But what about get me a front page? And then she runs out of the Daily Planet. And oh my gosh, this is kind of hot. She goes into like the elevator. And she sees Clark there. And she's like, hey. He's like, hey. And they look at each other and they make eyes. And then they both like open their shirts. And the S, right? Hope. I needed to see Lois at 10 a.m. to go over a new feature, but she said she had a meeting with you. What are you talking about, Kat? She told me that she had a 10 a.m. meeting with you. Can you imagine? Like, because I used to be a project manager, and I used to work at, like, KPMG. Can you imagine trying to, like, juggle that with being, like, a superhero? Being like, oh, yeah, I have a meeting. I gotta go. I gotta go save people. Hold my 10 o'clock. I could see this, like, big whoosh, right? As I fly past. Oh, I love this. Look at how gorgeous that is. Right? Ah, wonderful date. And Superman says, "You heard the boom downtown, I take it, and saw the big purple cloud. Race? Oh, you're on, Smallville." And they are off. Hey, Wolfie. Hey, Crypto. How's it going? I love that. She calls him Smallville. "To me, my atomic zoo. Albert, what are you doing? I thought you moved past crime like this." "I'm sorry, Superman, but my new babies are eating me out of house and home. Superman and Superwoman have engaged the atomic skull. Get some agents down there to work crowd control. Keep the damage to a minimum so Superman and Superwoman can focus on Atomic Skull and his pets." Oh, Rick, what is the draw and attraction of cosplay? What a deep question. So we break down cosplay, right? Cosplay is costumed play. The way I look at it personally, I can't speak for every cosplayer, but for me personally, if we think of life as a grand story, right? When you're in it and you're playing in it, oftentimes you don't have this moment to kind of fully appreciate the magic of what that really is to be in a story. We look at things like, you know, the characters in our movies and in our art and in like video games and comic books with, you know, such awe and wonder. And, you know, what a thing to be able to put that on and try what it would be like to be Supergirl, to be Superwoman, to be Batgirl, to try what it is, right? So that's kind of how I kind of look at it in terms of it. So I also look at it as when I go live, because I personally, me as Rachel Z, am a very shy person. When I put on Supergirl, it gives me, like, you know, confidence and all that kind of good stuff, right? So that's it. And thanks for following, Tristan. We are reading The Rise of Superwoman, which is a Superman actual comic book. Typically, I do read you guys the comic books that I'm, like, in cosplay as a character within it. So I'm kind of my own version of Superwoman right now. I'm a riff on this version of Superwoman, which is when Lois Lane gets powers, because strictly speaking, if I think about my own life story and moving out to Toronto, I first came out here to take broadcast journalism. Like, I did want to become a reporter, right? And if we think about reporters and newscasters, when you think about storytelling, you're storytelling reality. And so how interesting is it that, like, both Clark and Lois, their alter egos are also reporters, right? It's kind of fun, right? How old is this comic? I'm not quite sure. Oh, good question. I wish there was a way. This must be newer because it's all in, like, it's an all in storyline, but I wish typically there's, like, the copyright on it. Look at how gorgeous that looks, right? Lois looks great in this outfit. I don't know. I will look this up. DC Comics. Where was it? 2025, 2024. Is it that new? I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Oh, Steven. Okay. Hey, nice to see you as well. Welcome. I love the cover art. This artist, Dan Mora, I really do love the way he draws the super family. Like, it's nice. Because think about it. Every artist, every story, every collaboration is going to have each of your characters, even though, like, they're archetypally the same, they're going to be that rendition, like it's going to be that artist's way of bringing them to life. Like no different how you have different actors or actresses play that character differently. Like your Adam West Batman is different than your like Christopher Nolan Batman, right? So, and they're all true. That you can have your own favorites, and it doesn't necessarily negate the other ones, right? We can love what we love without like being like, well, yours sucks, right? At least I think so. Like I love all of them. I just love ones a little bit more. Those are just my favorites, like ice cream flavors and stuff, you know? I love Lois. I do love Lois. And there is a DC Bombshells comic book read I need to get, you guys, because it has Black Canary and Green Arrow with like a pirate radio station, which is pretty cool. And in that, Supergirl and Lois Lane are a couple. Okay. Continuing onward. So Clark and Lois have like, you know, changed out of their like alter egos at the Daily Planet. They are off. People are like, I thought you were supposed to be at a meeting, Lois. She's like, I'm kind of busy saving people in Metropolis. So here we go. Sorry, Superman, but my new baby's this atomic guy. I guess he's doing this because he's trying to feed his family. I don't know, excuse. Get some agents down there to work crowd control. Keep the damage to a minimum so Superman and Superwoman can focus on Atomic Skull and his pets. And that's at Supercore Tower. When did he get a zoo? Well, maybe the animals transformed when Waller's super Amazons returned all the powers that they stole. Oh, hi, I am the chosen one. Hope you're well. No, this is something else. We believe that Dr. Farm and Mr. Graft experimented on Albert the same way they did Parasite. Superwoman's powers continue to read as stable, Director Graves. Superwoman, I know you can hear me. You're good to use the frost breath, but heat vision is a big no-no. My team suspects it burns up too much of the solar energy in your cells, and we don't know if you're absorbing it like the way Superman does. So right now, Superwoman, it's not clear how her powers work. Yes. And you know what? Fast track. Here's a fun fact. Me and my hubby have been married for 11 years. Dun, dun, dun. Because we've been together a lot longer before that. We were both personal trainers at the gym downtown. We got together. We've been competing in like fitness and stuff, and then shifted gears because, you know, the industry changed a lot in fitness, you guys. But I will still say that like I still work out all the time, all that kind of stuff. Yes, fast track, but he does DJ professionally, and we have a few gigs coming up. Very excited to share that with you guys. This Saturday, I'm actually hoping to do the Cosmic Room live from our photography studio. So if you are in Toronto and you want to join us live, I'm not going to charge tickets or anything. I just want it to be kind of like, you know, like Boiler Room, like how it was like basement party, to kind of like simulate that kind of environment, to do it as like a kind of like a video shoot. So if you are in Toronto and you want to like meet in person, let me know. We can, and if not this time, I want to be doing it on a monthly basis, and then I'll be working with I have a few meetings with a few places here in downtown to do book club or comic book club, because I've been seeing a lot of places like, I don't know, like, am I with the morphogenetic field? Like, there's like a lot more book clubs and like nerdy book girls coming out. I'm like, yeah, nerdy people unite, you know? Tristan, yes. I will say though, like a big reason why I relate to Supergirl Kara is because I felt like an alien most of my life growing up. And it's because like I'm biracial, right? I'm multiracial. I'm Filipino and South African, and I grew up in the prairies. And I was blessed to have friends who were like from all different walks of life and backgrounds. And so this way of seeing each other, I didn't really get it the way like we are kind of like divided in this day and age. So to be Kryptonian, right? And in this case, like how Lois has powers of a Kryptonian, even though she's not. And just this idea that it is the sun which provides the power to Superman and Supergirl, right? The power of our beautiful yellow sun, right? Oh, I know, I can't wait for that movie. Wait, we'll see, I can hear you. I do have my own crypto too. And I also feel like I was a part of like crafting reality in a weird way, because 2 years ago I started doing this thing of like reading comic books live to you guys in cosplay, because to me it's like another way of bringing stories to life, right? This idea that like I get that reading comics is not necessarily accessible to a lot of people. Even my hubby, he doesn't like reading. Like if we had to choose between dubs and subs for like animes when we watch it, he's like, dubs all the way. I'm like, even if the dub is bad, he's like, I don't want to have to read underneath. I'm like, oh, come on, right? So thank you, Azul. I don't know why it censored your comment at first. So I'm just gonna flip a little bit more ahead, just because there is a point in time here where Supergirl and Lana and Kara all hang out, and I want to get to that part, you know. Oh, and like, I just love how this is. Oh my gosh, is Supergirl dating Jimmy here? Oh my gosh, it's Crypto. Okay, Wolfie, you're in the comic. Maybe I'll bring you. Okay, so we're gonna jump ahead to this part. Cute, right? So I think that's a good way to put it. Absolute Supergirl. I could go on a tangent because of that, Slinky. I won't, but we'll put a pin on that, okay? So interlude 1, let's call it that, instead of tangents. They're just brief interludes. So it's Jimmy and I think Supergirl, then end interlude. And Superman, you should have read this crime piece Erica wrote the other day about the corruption in City Hall. Oh yeah, there's always corruption in politics, right? How's my sister? She's doing good, George. Thank you for asking. She actually went to a fan expo in Vancouver last weekend as Wonder Woman. She is my Wonder Woman. To all of you guys who've been asking me to cosplay as Wonder Woman. So I think, why are there brontosaurus? I guess we'll find out. You know, time travel, I guess. Or, you know, dimension jumping. Superman versus Bizarro and Lex Luthor. So, as Azul, oh my goodness, what is that? Question about Bizarro. So I have read a few comic books, and there's two, I guess, origin stories of Bizarro. One being that if you clone Kryptonians over time, they eventually become Bizarro. Two is that there's a whole planet of Bizarro super people, just like I think like Krypton, which is weird too, I feel like. And apparently blue kryptonite negatively impacts Bizarro people. So just some fun facts. Some fun interlude there. But I don't know what you guys think. I don't know. I guess maybe both can be true, right? There's both a planet and cloning Kryptonians turns them into this. And perhaps after cloning Kryptonians and realizing they turn Bizarro, Lex maybe just put them all on a planet? That's possible. Okay. And Superman, you should have read this crime piece Erica wrote the other day about corruption in City Hall. It had no point of view. It was all conjecture. It barely had any facts. I literally had to ask her if she could just tell me what happened. You know how, like, it's like when you're in school and you don't really know the answer to a question. So the teacher's like, tell me. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to like talk in this like roundabout way, but not actually get to the point. That kind of idea. If you're writing an essay, you just talk in conjecture and in circles, right? I understand so much more now why Perry was so frustrated all the time. I don't know where Perry is at this point because Lois is also the editor-in-chief in this timeline. I love being editor-in-chief, I do, but I miss writing. And it's been extra hard lately. I wish I could write about all these amazing places I see now as Superwoman. And look at that. Crypto and Lois and Clark. Fun. It must have been hard to not file stories as Superman all the time, to keep that part of your life separate from your life as a reporter. Superman? Hello? I guess they're on a date. I'm sorry. I was someplace else. Doomsday? I wanted us to have a nice night away from all of that. The red kryptonite in my system that Farm and Graft infected me with. Mercy recommended I do things that can manage my stress so I don't go red again. And talking about Doomsday does not help. So this idea of like, I guess he's got red kryptonite poisoning on some level. Yeah, red Superman. I guess ragey Superman. Look how cute he is. You know, like, oh, I love how they're drawn here. And like, give me that date. It's just hard not to think about how how this monster is super core right now. He could escape and begin a bloody rampage like he did on so many worlds. I couldn't and I wouldn't be able to stop him. I wish I knew a way to rid our lives of Doomsday. That day when you two first met, it still haunts me. I can never unsee what he did. And for a long time, I would close my eyes and of course, she would see what happened, right? Honey, I've learned to live this life. I'm okay. But are you? The time trapper warned me Doomsday's return was the harbinger of a lot of horror coming to our lives. So what exactly did he say? Time Trapper wants me to end his life so he can evolve into God of all time and space. That if I don't, he will force me to watch everything I love end. And I'll be alone forever. Well, that's kind of crazy. The Time Trapper wants Superman to kill him so that he can become a god. Probably a very not a good god, I'm not going to say. And so Lois gives this look of like, what the heck? You're not going to do that, are you? Like, or, oh my gosh, I got to verify myself. One sec. Gorgeous. And, let's see, perfect art to be in this. Yes, I know, right? Money Boy Grayson. Oh, Orlando, thank you. Thank you, you guys. Superman weakness is whoever is writing the story. That's true, too. That's true, too. I mean, like, you got to keep some certain things canon, though, right? Like, you can't be all, like, willy-nilly with all of... When you're a storyteller or a writer. And that's the beautiful thing, I think, about Lois as well, right? At the end of the day, when you're doing journalism, that is also writing at the heart of it, right? You're just writing, instead of writing fantasy novels or comic books, you're writing stories that are real, right? So, something to consider. Okay, we're going to go for a little bit longer, and then we'll wrap. So dark. Lois is listening to Clark basically say this. I'm worried about the future, about what forever means. Well, nothing is forever, honey, but maybe I am, says Superman. Maybe I'm immortal and I'll have no choice but to watch everything I love. And then from off screen, Superman, Superwoman. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I have a bit of a problem. Amethyst? How cool does she look here? Are you okay? Amethyst I know from Justice League Dark with Constantine and Zatanna. Are you okay? How can we help? The House of Onyx has gone mad and has brought an army from the Shadowlands in order to invade us. Oh, thank you, Orlando. The army is just over that ridge. And so Superman says to Superman, okay, so this conversation to be continued. I lost my appetite anyways. And Amethyst says, to the battlefield, into the fray, right? Let's get it. And then interlude 2. What does Doomsday dream about? I mean, I guess do bad guys have dreams, right? Hey, Marie Landry, hello. I'm Superwoman, technically, today. We're doing a little bit of like a Lois as Superwoman kind of thing. What does Doomsday dream about? Supercore. Our synthetic Black Mercy venom is holding. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Black Mercy stuff. It like does this weird like nightmare dream thing. I've got a few other comic book stories because Alan Moore likes using the Black Mercy. What you want to call it? I would call it a MacGuffin, but you know it's definitely a plot device in stories, right? No worries, Mari. Thanks for joining. Okay, our synthetic Black Mercy venom is holding. Doomsday is secure. For now. What do you guys think, or what do you think the big guy's not got going in that head of his? And they like, I guess you can kind of see not much besides like evil thing. You haven't heard of the Black Mercy stuff. We will talk about that more in the future fast track because it has a lot to do with dream states, right? And in DC, oh, Orlid, thank you. Oh, that's cool. The pony lantern. That's perfect for the Fire Horse New Year. Thank you for following, Slinky. Yay, okay. More things that we'll talk about in Cosmic Comic Book Club stuff because there's the whole reading part of the comic book, right? But then, I don't know if you guys have ever taken like English literature, if we take this back to school, and I actually liked English class, you guys. If we think about things symbolically, and if we, look at comic books as like real books too, right? You can look at a lot of the major themes there of like when we go into the dreamscape. It's funny because in Multiversity, the Batman's son and Superman's son have a conversation because they don't have to do superhero stuff because their parents were so good that like there's no more crime. And so like Superman's like, I went on like a journey once, I did something. And he's like, it was a dream with Sandman. And Batman's like, oh, so you had a dream. That's not a mission, but maybe it is. You know what I mean? Multiversity mention. I love Multiversity. Grant Morrison, actually, who wrote this Final Crisis, this is definitely a follow-up to Multiversity, if you think about it. Because they put together a little team and they like basically talk to us, right? Being like, if you don't have a world of superheroes, you better get some. Right? Better make some up. Okay. So my relationship with magic. Oh, because it's well known that the superheroes, the super family, is vulnerable to magic, right? It's why you have Constantine and Justice League Dark. I have a feeling the reason behind that is that Krypton is very like high tech. It's got a lot in common with like Atlantis in that regard. We're like high technology, and that can sometimes be counter to high magic, especially if you're talking about magic sorcery that perhaps has to deal with like earth magic, right? Because think about it, Kryptonians, like kryptonite is from Krypton and it's poison to Superman, right? So you'd think that something from your homeworld would empower you, right? Why does our sun? It's just an interesting, I look at it as like a puzzle in some kind of way. Hey, Superman. Hey, Cal. How's it going? We're reading about you, actually. Okay. My relationship with magic has changed for the better recently, but I'm still not a fan of people trying to hurt me with it. Listen to me. I've lived through enough wars to know that they never solve anything. Stop fighting. We have a truce. The war is over. Long live the Queen. Peace. This was you, I take it. And Lois says, in all my years of reporting, I learned that once you get someone talking, they just don't stop. Onyx needed medication that could only be made from gems in House Amethyst's lands. I helped them hash out a trade agreement. Ah, your real superpower, getting people to talk. That's something we said there, like all the superpower in the world, but in the end, Lois is able to hash out an agreement, right? And they don't need a war anymore, right? How did they know this happened? Ah, love that. Okay, I'm sorry that dinner was ruined. Well, how about we turn this date night into a date morning? I do love brunch. Maybe we can go to Mars for an early breakfast. Or Gorilla City. It's beautiful this time of year. Dinner was wonderful, honey. But was Doomsday being immortal or stopping a war? No, this whole thing feels off. Like something is missing? Follow me. I have an idea. I mean, like, yeah, who doesn't love French? Oh, I love French all day. An interlude 3. Lex and Mercy in Coffee? Yawn. Brainiac used LL01 to spy on us, but he also had Mr. Luther's brainwaves to emulate. How? If anyone knows how to contain Doomsday for good, it will be Mr. Luther. Files incomplete. Run it again, damn it. Long night, Mrs. Graves? Oh, Mr. Luther. I've been running scans to see if I can find any traces of Brainiac in our systems, and if that is the key to getting your memory back. What are you doing here? Please, call me Lex. I was here to see my daughter Lena, but I have to be honest, I came to see you. Me? Yes, I don't remember my past, but ever since we met, I can't stop thinking about you. I thought we could talk. Iced espresso with almond milk? How did you know my favorite? Even before, I didn't think you ever noticed. And interlude. Well, clearly Lex Luthor is missing his memory, because look at how nice he's being, and like getting her a coffee. I really don't like almond milk in my coffee though anymore these days. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit more, because I just want to get to a certain part, and then we will revisit this. Not to worry. Oh, yes. That's such my favorite part. So Lois is working late, right? Oh, what is wrong with me? Why can't I do this? Perhaps writer's block. You okay, Chief? Says Jimmy. Good night, Jimmy. Clark said you'd be here. And so we have Kara and Lana show up to the office, right? Burning the midnight oil, doing important stuff, editing stuff. Has anyone talked to you about being a workaholic? The news never stops, and so neither can I. Lois, I think you can clock out like everyone else. You know, go and blow off some steam. We're headed to Bebo's. Why don't you join us? I can't. Look at my desk. I have way too much work to do. Okay, totally get it. Maybe next time. Wait, Kara, you forgot to ask about the other thing. Oh, yeah, duh. Do you want to come and fight crime with us, Lois? Oh my gosh, it's like, hey girl, you want to come? It's like, sure. So now we have Supergirl, Superwoman. It's awesome. So DC Comics presents Lois Lane, Superwoman in Secret Origin. And so you have Lana also here. It's kind of fun. I will, Stitch. I used to only get this coffee from my favorite cafe if Clark had a free second. Just one of the many perks of my superpowers. Are you good with this whole Superwoman thing, Lana? So both Lana and Lois are Superwoman right now. And she says, oh sure, I'm Superwoman Red and you're Superwoman Blue. If there can be a zillion Green Lanterns, I think we can share. That's really funny. There are a zillion Green Lanterns. And then Kara says, okay, hey, so real talk. Why were you yelling at yourself in your office? Says Kara. What are you talking about? Come on, we have super hearing. Do you have super hearing, Lana? I forget. Not unless you count hearing a bottle of wine opening from a mile away. Anyway, I have super hearing, says Kara. What is up? Sigh. I never want to be the story, but in this case, I'm living one. It's weird and stressful. When I used to get stressed, I could just write. But now, who am I even writing for? If I ever got stuck like this, I'd pitch Perry what I wanted to write, and talking with him would help shape it. But now, he's the mayor, and I'm the editor-in-chief, and I barely write. I'm mostly just, editing, and I guess I'm suffering from writer's block. Okay, well, how about this? How about you pitch us? What? Now? Yeah, you said you used to pitch Perry and that would help you talk through a story before you had to write it. So pretend we're Perry and tell us what you're thinking. Ha! Okay, I guess I'll start at the beginning. With Amanda Waller. I do not like Amanda Waller. A few weeks ago, she made her big play, stole everyone's powers and hoped she could rid the world of anyone who ever had metahuman abilities and then gain total control. But everyone fought back and stormed her base on operations on Gamora. I was at the Daily Planet taking back the news. Waller had used AI to hack our systems and turn the public against superheroes. But now that her attention was on the fight, we were finally able to report on the truth. I had to sit and wait for updates on the battle, but I had stolen an experimental armor developed by Lex Luthor. I took it off after helping Superman, but the armor had somehow connected to Waller's super Amazons. I could see they were about to attack the heroes. I couldn't stay on the sidelines. Waller had hurt my son, my husband. The armor's onboard system showed me the fight ahead, that the super Amazons were going to win unless something shut them down. I was flying as fast as I could to Gamora, right? So she put on the suit, right? And then, as she was flying, there's lightning that hit her. Shh, gasp. And then she falls from the sky. So I feel like she's explaining how she got her powers. It's almost as if when the lightning hit her when she was wearing the suit with the powers, it like fused the suit with her. So the next day, I guess, Jimmy? Oh, geez, Miss Lane, sorry. Hi. You said no one would be here. Oof. Sorry, Chauvin. I forgot Lois and Clark come up here sometimes. Where is Clark? I don't know. The roof is all yours. All right, and so later we got our favorite trio. Now, then I found out Clark and the other heroes took down Waller and her army. And Superman wasn't the one who saved you? That was my first thought. But no. Clark's theory is that the armor had some sort of failsafe that returned me to Metropolis. And before he could really investigate, he got pulled into the Phantom Zone. And I went back to work at the Daily Planet. Well, it must have been rough going right back to a desk after all of that. Well, that's just it. Perry was still running for mayor, and it was clear he was going to win. And what felt like a temp job that I thought I was going to hate, I ended up loving. And so she's now editor-in-chief. And, she finds a pen and she lifts up the whole desk. So that's where we're going to end the reading today, you guys. Thank you for joining me for that. It is the Rise of Superwoman. I did this as my Superwoman in space cosplay. A little bit of a different look, a little bit of a futuristic alternate timeline kind of situation. So next time you can grab the live tomorrow. I'm hopefully going to go live as April O'Neil. We'll see if hubby ends up being Casey Jones. As well as we have a few other live shows coming up your way. And if you want to get all of the VIP mixes, everything that's the audio-only version, please do join us on Patreon for all of that kind of good stuff. And as I get the Cosmic Comic Book Club up and running a little bit more, and Superhero School, you can get all of those updates on my Ko-Fi and on my Patreon. All right, guys. At the nudie comic books or take pics of them. Everything comes from here. I know. Who to blame? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Remember, it takes true courage for you to be exactly you in this cosmic game of life. So be sure to play as exactly you, because guess what? The universe is counting on you. Until next time, guys, I got your back. Bye. Oh, thanks, edition. And yeah, I guess I'm Superwoman. Signing out. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, it's the encore to stay back. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Ish.